dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. We're just a couple of seconds shy of 5 o'clock. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Cassidy Strickland. Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Friday morning.
Yeah, definitely. It's a breezy Friday morning, so get ready for that. And actually, as I was driving in, it was starting to flurry a little bit. So just don't be surprised if you see a couple flurries falling. But Brandon, we're going to go check in with him this morning. And yesterday, we did get to see that snow that you all had planned, mostly for the far eastern parts of eastern Kentucky. But what are we going to see for today, B-Rob?
Didn't get to see some sunshine. I heard you were going to give me some grief over that yesterday on social media. Andrew told me that last night. But yeah, we are going to see some sunshine today because these flurries should be out of here by about mid-morning, and then I think we'll start to see the skies gradually clear as we head deeper in the day. This morning outside the WYMT studios, we are looking at not clear conditions, but not a whole lot going on. Those snowflakes kind of light. You can't see those really on that camera over Whitesburg this morning. Pretty quiet there as well. Satellite and radar, few clouds still drifting across the area, but you see them already trying to clear from west to east and from north to south, so that's going to be the trend throughout the rest of the morning. We're going to see not much anything showing up on live pinpoint Doppler radar, just a little bit of blue specks here at times. It's very, very light snow and it's hard to scan. Temperatures didn't get quite as cold as expected because the clouds are supposed to clear up for now, just like yesterday afternoon didn't quite make it out. We're going to see temperatures though in the upper 20s and low 30s, so again, slick spots possible on those roads as refreezing is probably happened. Windy conditions, so keep that in mind because that means wind chills, single digits in central Kentucky, teens and 20s across eastern Kentucky. Coffee meter a little extra today, close to max warming needed, especially with those wind chills, but again, we're going to need a little bit of extra oomph to get you going this morning. Out the door forecast, I do think we'll see a little colder air this morning. I'd be getting down about 22 about 9 o'clock, but then we'll start to climb again, getting into the upper 20s, close to 30 with that sunshine later on today. The rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
Alrighty, Brandon, thank you. Well, the snow yesterday morning paired with a few other concerns led to school being canceled in various school districts. Some even canceled classes today. Jackson City schools closed yesterday and will remain closed today because of illness. Interim Superintendent Paul Green says their attendance dropped to nearly 85%. Since they have to have high attendance numbers for state funding, he and his staff decided it was best to call off school so students can get healthy.
It's tough this time of year. You know, we have some flu, we have some virus, we have just this crazy weather patterns with that brings on a lot of sinus infections and those types of things. So we have a lot of just general illness.
Yesterday was a non-traditional instruction day, or NTI day, for students. However, today will simply be counted as a snow day. Well, like we mentioned, several schools are closed today. You can check some of them at the bottom of your screen. To check out all the full listings along with possible delays, just head on over to our website, WYMT.com, where you can also sign up for alerts on our app.
Well, a woman is accused of stealing around $80 worth of meat from 2 different stores before trying to sell it at a pawn shop. We first told you about this story yesterday on Mountain News This Morning. Martin County deputies arrested Karen Cornett. She allegedly stole from a Save-A-Lot in IGA and Inez. Crystal Newsom is a store manager. She says Cornett was caught on camera sticking a beef tenderloin in her jacket before putting another one down her pants. When Newsom did not catch her in time, the owner of the store later found her at a pawn shop in Inez.
He thought it was strange that she had on this big thick jacket, and it was kind of warm out yesterday anyways, and sometimes you can just tell by when they walk in, like you can tell sometimes that they're going to steal something.
The sheriff's office says Cornett now faces shoplifting charges.
Well, earlier this week, we told you about a man police were calling the traveling bandit. FBI agents say he robbed several banks in multiple states. This morning, we now know that man is Jason Robinson, and he is from Pike County. Robinson's run ended in Fruita, Colorado. We mapped it out for you. That is more than 1,500 miles from Pikeville and only about 2 hours from where the FBI says he carried out a robbery last week in Price, Utah. From documents filed in Miami, Florida federal court, we learned investigators say Robinson got away with $1,900 there. He was on federal supervised release as of November. Robinson served 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to robbing 2 community trust banks back in 2008. Federal agents linked him to other robberies because of his history. They say he told an employee at another bank just before the Miami robbery that he was from Kentucky. Health officials in Laurel County have confirmed a case of hepatitis A at a local restaurant. An employee at the Taco Bell on Kingsway in London was diagnosed last Saturday. We are told that employee did handle food. Taco Bell's corporate office did reach out to us saying the person is, quote, on leave and will not return to work until cleared by medical professionals. They also say, quote, all team members currently working at this restaurant have been vaccinated.
Meanwhile, the Knox County Fiscal Court had the first reading of an ordinance Wednesday that could require food service workers to have the hepatitis A vaccination. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked to health officials about the possible new mandate.
The first reading of mandatory hepatitis A ordinances passed and now up for publishing with the second reading in February.
From the date the ordinance is finalized, then there will be a 1-month grace period for the food service workers to comply.
Restaurants like Grateful Ed's Barbecue that is already ahead of the mandate, having most of their employees already vaccinated. And they say they're glad the fiscal court is pushing the idea.
I think it's good. I think it's needed. Some oversight is good. We need to be proactive in this.
And he says for those that aren't, they will be vaccinated on Saturday at a hepatitis A clinic at the Knox County Health Department.
I would think that most of our employers around here would be proactive too and have the same concerns we do about the community.
Health officials say the risk of transmitting the virus as a food worker is low, but they're being proactive to stop the spread of hepatitis A in every way possible. In Knox County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
The Knox County Health Department is having a hepatitis A clinic tomorrow. They will accept any insurance or give free vaccination to those who are not insured.
Well, police say the man accused of threatening Trinity High School back in November will not spend time in jail. Thor Willianen pleaded guilty to third-degree terroristic threatening. That is a misdemeanor. The threat originated on social media. He made it after Jeff Brom announced he turned down the Louisville football job to stay at Purdue. Willianen will not serve his 180-day sentence should he stay out of trouble for the next 2 years. Well, this morning we have a closer look at Kentucky's unemployment numbers. The state says 69 counties saw job gains. Meanwhile, 38 counties saw an increase in unemployment. That includes Magoffin County. They have the highest unemployment rate in the state at a whopping 11.3%.
In other news on your Friday morning, a man charged in a Whitley County triple murder is now back in Kentucky. Anthony Hester is currently being held in the Laurel County Detention Center. Hester, Darnell Chivers, and Jeremy Hatfield are accused of murdering Imogene and Christopher Bittner, along with Imogene's 16-year-old son, Robert Kennedy. The family was found dead at a home on Deep Branch Road in Whitley County back in September of 2017. Police say the 3 men knew the victims.
Well, a woman is behind bars this morning in Martin County. Police say it happened at the junction of Route 122 and Route 80. That's where Sharon Aaron of Florida crashed into a Jeep. While investigating, police say they determined she was under the influence. Aaron is charged with DUI and drug charges.
Well, some cool news. The ESPN College Game Day bus made a stop in London. The Katie Loftus State Farm Agency in London hosted the bus for community members to tour. Local businesses also set up food trucks for anyone waiting in line for the tour and in support of the bus coming to London.
When they first pulled in, I was like, oh my gosh, is this real? This is in London. So that was awesome.
The ESPN College Game Day bus was at the agency from 3 to 6 yesterday evening.
College Game Day will be at the UK-Kansas game on Saturday. Well, coming up on Mountain News this morning, people in Minnesota prepare for bitterly cold temperatures today. We will tell you what is forecasted for that area.
Plus, we take one last look at what's happening in Hollywood on this Friday in your Eye on Entertainment report.
After a chilly start to the day with a few flurries, conditions should improve later this afternoon. I'll have a look at your forecast in about 2.5 minutes.